Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today I will show you how you can pick up objects and drop them again, and if you hold down the key you can throw them away. So here I go to the object, I can pick it up. If I hit E again, I will drop it. Let's pick it up again. If I hold down the E key and I release it, I throw the object. And we can walk over and we can pick it up again. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna show you today. Let's get to it. So what you see, what I have here in my game is a simple plane for the ground, and then I have my player in here. Nothing special in that. It's a rigid body with a box collider and my player controller. So let's first create the thing that we need to pick up. So let's create a 3D cube. Place it here on the ground. Let's add a rigid body component to it. And let's freeze it in the rotation. No, let's keep it like this. Yeah, then on your player, you'll need to create an empty object and call this the pick up point. Zoom into the point like this, and this point you need to place where the item should be picked up. So in my case I will just move it a bit in front of him like this. Yep. And remember to put it underneath your player so it always follows your player. So let's make a new script and call it pickup item and open it up in Visual Studio. When it is open, we will need some references, and first we will need a reference to our pick up point, and we need a reference, a transform to our player. Then we need a float for our pick up distance, and we need a float for our force multiplier. I'll just call it force multi. And we need two booleans, and the first one will be ready to throw, and we need a bool for item is picked. And then we of course need a rigid body as well. Call it RB, and in the start we of course need to find the rigid body. This is the reference to the rigid body. Then we need to find our player. So our player is equal to our GameObject.find, and in my case my player is called player. If you have a different name, you should write it here or change the name in the, if you see here, it's player and it needs to find the player. The transform, and we need to do the same for the pickup point. The pickup point is equal to GameObject.find, and here it has to be the exact same name as well. So pick up point in my case. If you call your point something else, remember to change it to that. So now we have all the references. So in the update, what should we do first? Let's first say if our input dot get key, and here we need the key code dot e In my case, I will use E to pick up and drop. You can use whatever you want. And item is picked is equal to true. So now I have the item picked up and ready to throw. Then we can say that our force multiplier plus equal 300 multiplied with time.delta time. I will come back to this number in a later point, because this is one of the points that you have to manipulate yourself. Then we need to calculate our pickup distance. So pickup distance is equal to vector 3 dot distance. And here we need a distance between our player position and our transform dot position. And the transform position is this object that this script is attached to. Now, if we want to pick it up, we can say if pickup distance is less or equal to 2. In my case, when the distance is less than 2, I want to pick it up. If you want it higher or lower, you can always change it here. Then we can say if input dot get key down, and here is the key code dot e. Then and item is picked is equal to false. So if we haven't picked it up, and we have to be sure as well that we can't pick up 2 items at a time. So we need the pickup point that we have. That child count should be less than 1. That means that if we don't have anything on our pickup point, what happens here, if you see my player here, when I pick something up, it will automatically go to here as a child. So if we only have 1 underneath this one, you can't pick up more items. Again, if you want to pick up 2, 3, or 4 items, you can always change this. Then we need to say, when we pick it up, we need to get the component, and here we need our rigid body dot use gravity, and we will set the gravity to false. We need to do the same for our box collider. Here we will enable the collider, so set it to false. This is only because when you're walking around with this object, if it has a collider, then if you walk into something, you will push it around. It's of course more realistic, but it can be annoying sometimes. But you can always set this to true if you want the collider to be on. Then this dot transform dot position is equal to pickup point dot position. So now when we pick it up, the item will go to the pickup point that we have added, and then this dot transform dot parent is equal to GameObject dot find, and here we are looking for the pick up point. So this is where dot transform. So it's here where it will go to this parent. It will look for a parent called pickup point, and then it will go to that position. And then we will say item is picked is equal to true, and our force multiplier is equal to 0. So when we have picked it up, the force that we need when we throw it, it should be 0. So now let's make it so we can throw it. Yeah, let's do that. So if input dot get key down, and here we need key up, sorry. Get key up, so it's when we are releasing the key. And here again, it's the key code dot e, and the item is picked. Then ready to throw is equal to true. And if our force multiplier is greater than 10, then rigid body dot add force, not explosion, add force. And here we will need our player dot transform dot forward multiplied with the force multiplier. And then we need this dot transform dot parent is equal to null. So when we throw it, it will jump out of the parent again. And then we need get component, and here it's the rigid body. And here we need our use gravity is equal to true. So when we drop it, we need the gravity again so it can fall to the ground. And we need the get component for the box collider. And the box collider, we need to enable it again to true. And then the item is picked is equal to false. And our force multiplier is equal to 0. And the ready to throw is equal to false. And just to be 100% sure, then out here we need to say our force multiplier, force multiplier is equal to 0 as well. So if we save this and head back to Unity, then we can take our cube, or what item you have, pull the script to there. The pickup distance, let's set it to 2. The force multiplier, we should not do anything, and ready to throw and everything should be fine. So now let's hit the play button. We can walk around, go to the object, should be able to pick it up, walk around with it, and press E to drop it. Let's go pick it up again. Let's hold down the E key, and you can see the force here is going up, and release it, and it's throwing it. So let's run over to it and pick it up and drop it again. So yeah, that was what I had to show you in this tutorial. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you, and see you next time.